year since the devastating collapse of the oceanfront condominium in Surfside. The land where this 12-story tower once stood has been sold, as well as the billion-dollar legal case settled involving victims and survivors' families.
But what has yet to be finalized tonight are the answers about how and why this building crumbled to begin with. Fox 4 investigative reporter Katie LaGrone is now speaking to one of the engineers, still looking for some kind of explanation here, and a grieving family that's growing weary and increasingly frustrated with the lack of answers nearly 2 years later.
This is the site of the Champlain Towers South today. Branches of rusted metal pierce the concrete. Hoses, puddles, pumps, and cones border what are the remaining pieces of a structure that once was. From a distance, a fence wrapped in tarp is entwined with a few artificial flowers that remind us here was the site of nearly 100 lives lost. But nearly 24 months after this unimaginable tragedy, why this tower of homes crumbled to the ground overnight is still unknown.
It's very frustrating for us, for the families, for the friends, for the unit owners, for everybody.
Pablo Langsfeld lost his 26-year-old daughter, Nikki, and her husband in the collapse. Martin is her brother.
We have absolutely no idea what happened. Not only as a respect to the 98 families and all the unit owners who lost everything in a matter of seconds, but to respect for everyone who lives on the coast or lives in condos across the state line. How does a building collapse in the middle of the night, and 2 years later we still don't know why?
Are we any closer to understanding why?
Well, we're closer than where we were a year ago, all right? But we're not close to understanding why.
Alan Kilsheimer is a world-renowned structural engineer hired by the town of Surfside to independently investigate what caused the 40-year-old condo to come down.
Every time we talk, you're saying the same thing, which is we don't know yet.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Though Kilsheimer says he's 90% sure the tower's collapse was not the result of foundational issues, he says family lawsuits, police investigations, and an ongoing concurrent federal investigation have kept him and his team from getting access to inspecting and testing critical building remains. Those unanticipated delays, he says, now increasing his costs and ultimately the town's.
I'm asking for more money.
During an update to town commissioners a few months ago, he asked and was approved for an additional $575,000, increasing the town's estimated total cost for this independent query to more than $3 million.
That's a lot.
Yes, it is.
What do you say to those family members who have just been eagerly and patiently waiting for answers that have yet to come?
What I've said to them when I have met with them at their request or when I've talked to them is that we're not going to give up. We're going to get to the bottom line of this.
But when remains another unknown for the families who are desperate to move on, but can't.
We know these things take time. We want the full 100% report. Families and residents can not know. We need to know the exact answer. But 2 years and not one update is a little bit ridiculous.
Surfside town officials tell us they will be seeking external sources to help cover these extra costs, but still feel an independent investigation is worth pursuing. Meantime, at last check, federal investigators said they would be releasing their findings in the fall of this year. We are expecting an update on that timeline in the next few weeks. I'm Katie LaGrone reporting.